This ain't gonna work. No, we're not gonna start like this. Nope, we're not gonna start like this. No. No, this doesn't. Okay. Why not like this? Okay. Guys, this is a bit of a relatively serious video. Relatively, but not really. I'm gonna talk about... Okay, so there's something I need to explain. I love video games, if you could not already tell. I've always loved video games. I grew up with them. I've learned to love them. I've learned to hate them. And while there's some video games that have definitely left somewhat of an impact on my life, there has never been another game even close to this one. And while I've touched upon this before in the past, not really much, only a little bit. It's time I talk about my relationship with Kingdom Hearts. So, let me get this out of the way. What is Kingdom Hearts? It's basically a cross game of Final Fantasy and Disney, if you couldn't already tell. It's basically a mix of Disney and Final Fantasy characters joined together in one game. It's an RPG, action RPG type of game. So, where this game came into my life and how? Honestly, I couldn't even tell you, because I don't know. I was young. I was 6 years old when I remember playing video games. Like, there are some moments in my life that for the life of me I cannot remember, but this is one of those memories that I will forever hold dear to me. I was 6 years old, and I remember I had, at the time, I only had a PlayStation 2 and a Nintendo DS, which only recently came out. I believe. I can't remember. But, yeah, I had the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2. And for the PlayStation 2, I only remember having a couple of games. I had Sly Cooper 2 and 3, Sonic Unleashed, Jak and Daxter 2, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, that's right. I didn't start with the first one. I started with the second one. Well, let me make sure that my stream is all good. Okay, we're all good. But, yeah, that's the game I remember playing the most. I remember as a kid, I would always look at the game, but never really play it because I was confused. Seeing Donald Duck and Goofy interact with characters like Tron, from Tron Legacy, or seeing this boy with spiky hair interacting with Simba and Jack Sparrow, like, what is this game? I'm intrigued, but I never really played it, at least not right away. I always played Sonic Unleashed, I played Jak 2, and I played the Sly Cooper games. But Kingdom Hearts, I didn't play it right away. I waited a little bit. But then, I remember playing it. I remember pouring so many hours into this weird cross game that I never thought and dreamed would be possible, but it was. It was sitting on my shelf one day, and I saw it, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna play it. I remember as a kid, like, I was just intrigued by every video game I played and touched. But nothing left me as curious and adventure-worthy, like, wanting more adventure than this game. This game ignited my true love and passion for video games. So, let me explain to you what Kingdom Hearts is, what the plot is. Basically, the main character, Sora, he's, at this point now, 16, 17 years old, but back then he was like 12, 13 years old, 15 at least, at most. 15-year-old Sora was living with his friends Riku and Kairi on their island. And apparently, Riku knew that there were other worlds. Okay, sorry, let me explain that. So, the Disney movies are kind of made into worlds where you can explore them, kind of, sort of. You can explore parts of the world. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy, I'll explain how they ended up together in a second, travel to those worlds and either help the Disney characters relive through the movies or through new plots and help them out. But let's talk how these three became one of the most incredible duos in video game history. So Sora and his friends were living in Destiny Islands and wanted to get out of the island, explore other worlds. But their plan really wasn't the best. They just created a boat and hoped for the best. Yeah, that's really it. But one day, as fate would have it, the evil forces came to the island, called the Heartless, and basically just destroyed it. Like, they left it to shreds. Like, Kairi was gone, Riku was engulfed by darkness, and Sora was almost suffering the same fate, until fate would have it, came in form of a light form Keyblade, or a weapon called the Keyblade. A weapon that would fix everything. Sora was the chosen hero to save all worlds from eternal darkness, and in his travels, in order to help those worlds, he needed help from his two soon-to-be friends, Donald and Goofy. Their mission was to find King Mickey and find out what happened to him. So they teamed up with Sora to find his missing friends.
You can always count on getting the latest tech at a great price. Plus, we'll make sure there are...
Find their missing friends and stop the dark forces from coming. That's simple. That's the plot. So, that was the plot of Kingdom Hearts 1, basically. Kingdom Hearts 2's plot is a bit difficult to explain. So I'm not going to explain it to you guys. You guys can go play the games or watch the movie games on YouTube, so you guys can find it. But as a kid, I didn't understand really what happened, but literally the developer Square Enix thought of newcomers coming into this game, and they thought of that. So what they did was they showed footage of the original game through a flashback / dream sequence, and basically I knew what the plot of the game was at that point. I knew some of the major points, so all caught up kind of. But when you start Kingdom Hearts 2, you don't start with Sora because, spoiler reasons, you start up with this boy named Roxas and with his three other friends, just doing their normal lives, just getting jobs, getting money to go to saving up money to go to the beach. But weird things always happen to Roxas. Again, I'm not going to explain what they are because spoiler territory. But eventually, Roxas' journey or life comes to an end, and then Sora, Donald, and Goofy are brought back and have to yet again save the worlds from eternal darkness. That's the plot. Again. But this time is not only the Heartless, it's just a couple other people. Anyways, the point is, the plot is a bit weird and messy. But what truly drew me to this game was not only the Disney characters, but the gameplay. Like the music, gameplay, the visuals, that drew me to it. Like, you're telling me I could basically relive my childhood in, for example, movies like Aladdin or Nightmare Before Christmas or even Hercules. I could relive my childhood through this game. I could explore these movies. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? So that drew me into the game, and eventually I grew to love this video game. I loved it with everything I had. Sure, it's not the most perfect video game, because trust me, no Kingdom Hearts game is sacred, is safe. But this game ignited my love for video games, my passion, and I will never be able to thank it enough. So, what happened after I finished the game? I kept playing it over and over and over again. But I never asked myself, what about the first game? Are there any other games that I can play? But eventually, as fate would have it, yet again, I had a step-cousin who didn't love Kingdom Hearts as much as I did, but definitely liked it. And I saw him playing the very first Kingdom Hearts game. And I asked him, hey, what is that? That's not Kingdom Hearts 2. And he told me it was Kingdom Hearts 1. And I saw him battling one of the secret bosses of the game. And I was so intrigued, and I was so hyped. Like, what? Like, there's another game. Why am I not playing it? So eventually I did get Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't remember how. I don't remember buying it, but I did eventually get it. And it wasn't as good, but gameplay-wise, as Kingdom Hearts 2, but I was still intrigued. I finally knew the story of what happened to Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and why they ended up in Twilight Town, or what happened to Riku and Kairi, why they were separated. Now I know why. But again, what kind of brings or pushes people away from this series is the plot. I know, guys, it's messy. It really is. Hold on. Sorry, I needed to say something. But I still wasn't full on the Kingdom Hearts hype train, because I only had these two games. So I'm like, okay, if only these games are here, what about the others? Are there any other games? And I didn't know there were any other games. I just thought these two were it. Nope, there were many others. My next adventure with Kingdom Hearts, let me move this. Okay. Would be with Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Can it please load? Let me find a good image. I guess it's a good image. Sorry, no. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Hold on, I'll get to it in a second. This doesn't come after Kingdom Hearts 2, by the way. There are way too many other games before Kingdom Hearts 2. But I'll get to that in a second. I played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance and I was completely lost. I was completely and utterly lost for most of the game. There were some parts where I was already caught up. For example, at the beginning of the game, why Sora and Riku were in the Tower of Master. The mysterious tower. Why they were there with Master Yen Sid and King Mickey. I already knew that because of the ending of Kingdom Hearts 2. I figured, hey, Kingdom Hearts 3. Nope, that's not it. We'll get to that in a second. It was to take their Mark of Mastery exam to become true Keyblade Masters. And I kind of figured something like that would happen. I just wasn't sure what they would need to do, because I never played the other games. So after playing Dream Drop Distance and knowing of Sora and Riku's fate, I realized, okay, I have to play the other games and know what happened. Because there were some things that I never understood, like why Xemnas was back, why was Ansem back, who is this character that looks just like Sora but with black hair, which is right here. Who were those two individuals? What does this individual look like Roxas? Like, why does he look just like him, but there's something off about him? Why is Axel helping Sora and Riku? Like, what's going on? I'm confused. So I played through the other games, and my next adventure took me to Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. And for those of you who do not know what this game is, it's infamous for being pretty bad, but my next adventure took me to Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. I saw Roxas within the cover, I saw Axel and Riku and Mickey, and I realized, oh cool, this is what could tell me more of Roxas' past. Which it did, but I didn't finish the game in one go. It was really bad. The gameplay was just bad. But the story is what kept me going. Like, I wanted to know, how did Roxas turn from this zombie kid that barely talked to this amazing Keyblade warrior with a horrible fate? And who's this girl that looks a lot like Kairi? And why does Axel seem so important? Eventually I knew these answers, but I didn't finish the game in one go. At least not right away. I'll get to why I didn't finish 358 in a second. But my next adventure took me to this. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix. Oh, that's not what I... Oh no, that's not what I wanted. This is where it took me. Can I please just look at the image? Here we go, that's a good image. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix. This was a bundle game. It included the first 3 games. Kind of. It included Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, which apparently was a remake of a Game Boy game, Kingdom Hearts game that I never got to play until recently. Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. It included that, Kingdom Hearts 1, and 358 Days Over 2. Which is how I was finally able to finish the story of 358. Because in the bundle, 358 Days is only a movie with the cutscenes. You don't get to play the game. It's just a movie. So I finally understood the story, and I learned of Axel, Roxas, and Shion's fate, and made me fall in love with these 3 characters. The other characters, yeah, no. We don't talk about those other characters, because they don't exist. But then came Rechain of Memories, and honestly, guys, I couldn't play the game. I couldn't. I tried playing it, and I hated the combat system. Basically, it's you use cards to attack, and it was so stupid to me. Like, why? What happened to what happened? You had it perfectly in the first 2 games, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. What happened here? And I couldn't finish it. Like, I didn't want to finish it. So I eventually Googled the story, like what happened. So I knew I was all cut up. But there was one game that was missing. Actually, there were 2 that were missing before Dream Drop Distance. There's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And this one has actually a lot of history behind it. So let me talk about 358 Days Over 2. Not 358. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So, again, the Kingdom Hearts games were all scattered and all over the place. Some of them were on the DS, and the PlayStation 2, and the Game Boy, and the PSP, and the Nintendo 3DS. Like, they were all over the place. So I had the PSP, but I could never find Birth by Sleep anywhere. But I saw YouTube videos of this game. Like, I saw Ventus all over the place. I'm like, why is Roxas wearing a Keyblade arm? Like, wearing an armor, like, and what about his Keyblade? Why is it different? And who are these 2 other Keyblade warriors that seem like friends to Roxas? And Mickey? What is he doing here? What is his Keyblade different? Well, that's when I finally played Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix Bundle Edition. Okay, can I please just look at an image? Thank you. This is fine. I finally played these games, which included Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I'll talk about Recoded soon, don't worry. Kingdom Hearts Recoded. But let me talk about Birth by Sleep very quickly. So the games were separated into bundles. And Kingdom Hearts 2.5 had... let me move this over here. Had Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and Recoded. And I finally got to play Birth by Sleep for the first time on the PlayStation 3. And, oh god, the story hurts. What happened to these three Keyblade warriors is just sad. All of their tragic fates is just... Why you gotta do them like that, Nomura? So I eventually realized that this is not Roxas. His name is Ventus, and... Oh boy, this is where the story got really complicated. Not complicated, but it's a lot to remember. This game was a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 1. 10 years to be exact. And... I don't want to spoil the story, so you guys realize... Go look up the story if you guys want to know. But my adventure with Birth by Sleep was a really good one. For the most part. I finished all of their stories and only saw 2 of the main characters' tragic fates. However, Aqua's fate to me was left in the air. Like, what happened to Aqua? What do I do? Like, what happened to her fate? And apparently, in the game, there is a final episode. And I didn't know how to unlock it. And for the life of me, I could never unlock it. And so eventually, I had to look up the story. Like, I want to know what happens. So I learned of her fate. And overall, what happened to these 3 missing Keyblade warriors. So I learned of their fates, and it was horrible. I cried for a while. Kingdom Hearts is the only game that has officially made me cry, guys. That says a lot. So, I have to say, Kingdom Hearts officially is the one game that broke me and made me cry, and Birth by Sleep was one of them. Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep made me cry as a kid. But then, my story went to Recoded, and... Oh boy. This game is not good, guys. It's honestly the bottom of the barrel for Kingdom Hearts, if I were to be honest. This game is just a retread of a retread, and honestly, it's not very good. And the story apparently is very important, but at the same time, not really. That's why I don't talk about or play Recoded, because it's not fun. So, for me, Recoded is important, but not at the same time. But Dream Drop Distance was kind of the oddball for me. Because I still didn't... Like, I finally was caught up in the series, but... Now that the pieces were all there, now I had to connect them. And Dream Drop Distance was the piece of it all that I didn't understand completely. And then I realized why I didn't understand it. Time travel. They introduced time travel as a mechanic in this game. Like so many games later, they introduced this game. Like, introduced time travel. So when I finally realized what was happening, I had to drop the game for a little while and really rethink my choices. But overall, the gameplay for Dream Drop, this is what kept me going. And I couldn't let go of the story. The story, even though while it was convoluted-ish, oh hell, and it was pretty bad for some parts, I was hooked. I grew up with the series, and I wanted to see it to the end. And I loved these characters that wanted to know what would happen to them, especially characters like Roxas, Xion, Ventus, Aqua, Terra. Hell, even what would happen with the main trio, Sora, Riku, and Kairi. What would happen with them? And Lee, but Axel, but he's Axel. So I had to wait a while, a couple of years, and throughout that time, my love for Kingdom Hearts kind of died for a little while. I mean, I still love the franchise, but I didn't talk about it as much. I don't know what it was. I guess it was just a long while until I played it and continued the story. But then came Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage. Jesus, that title's long. But then came this game. And while the story in this game is not good at all, it is really bad, I still love the gameplay. And now we finally reached like the gorgeous graphics. Like, look at this. Look, compared to Birth by Sleep. Let me go back. Compared to Birth by Sleep, some of the models, like, they were alright. They weren't all bad. But then come back to this, and we're here. Like, this is awesome. We're here. Like, we're finally getting to awesome graphics. And the music was incredible, too. The gameplay was really solid and reminded me why I love this franchise. The music, the graphics, the characters. But I finally learned what happened to Aqua with her fate. Like, what happened, what she was doing while she was trapped and missing. And we also learned that Mickey's a giant asshole, but I'm not gonna get into it. So this story completely messed up some of the moments in Kingdom Hearts history, but whatever. But to this game, I was all ready. I was ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. And let me explain why Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3, there was a trailer going around. There was a teaser all the way back so many years ago. This was the first image for Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, there was a trailer, but I'm not going to show the trailer because copyright, whatever. I'm not going to show it off. This was the first trailer, and at that time, I didn't know but this was Kingdom Hearts 3. I just thought it was fake. But this was officially Kingdom Hearts 3 getting announced. And the fact that it looks beautiful, even though it was so early into development, they really were doing their job. Like, I could tell that this game was going to be good. So I stuck with the franchise. And I kept going. Until finally, we got a release date. Coming 2018. Years. Kingdom Hearts 2 came around 2007 or 2008. We were waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for close to 10 years. But it finally got revealed in like 2012 or something. So we were waiting years for this game to come out. But because of some technical issues, we had to wait till early 2019. But at that point, so many trailers were coming that the wait for it just went by so quickly that I didn't really mind. I didn't mind waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. I was just ready for the game to finally release. And it did. It finally came out. Kingdom Hearts 3 was the game I was waiting for years. I was ready to finally get the series concluded and see what would happen to these characters. And I got the special edition. At least one of them, anyways. I got the art book. I'm gonna get the pen, stop it. I got the special edition case. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Sorry. And the art book. And a couple of other stuff as well. And this art book was truly incredible. As I gotta give a shout out to Square Enix and Tetsuya Nomura, the director who created the Kingdom Hearts series. And yeah, here's the journey, guys. This is the timeline for the games. They're all over the place. I'm not going to say exactly what happens. You guys can look it up on your own. I just wanted to show you real quickly what the timeline was. It's all over the place. But when the game finally dropped, if you don't have me on Snapchat, that's fine. I posted on my story that I was so hyped to get it. And I was ready, and I wasn't going to stop playing the game until I finally reached the end. And I did it. I reached the end. But my thoughts on the game? A potato. Howdy doody. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on, my stupid thing. My outcome is all over the place. I'm glad I checked this out. Hold on. Oh my, stop. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Yeah, hopefully you guys could get to see the stream. Stick around for a while. I was just talking about my experiences with the franchise and everything. But as I was saying, what were my full thoughts on the game? There were a lot of cracks and a lot of flaws in the game, but I was a die-hard Kingdom Hearts fan. I couldn't really hate it. I mean, yes, I'm not blind. I know the game is not the best in the series, but it's one of my favorites. It's absolutely one of my favorites, and I know I just love it. So eventually, the more Square Enix heard the players, us, they heard us when we said that there were cracks in Kingdom Hearts 3. So they fixed it, kind of, with Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC. Yeah, they finally added DLC to the game. We finally got DLC added to the game, and it gave a whole other meaning to the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, gave us new playable characters, new super hard bosses, and somewhat new playable areas to play in. So, this was a step in the right direction, but there were still flaws in it. But I think it was worth it. Like, they definitely hurt us, and they definitely are trying. So, I've been talking for a while. Contra Hard Corpse. So I've been talking for 30 minutes now on the franchise, and I think it's time I finally explain why I love this series. I'm not an idiot, guys. I know this franchise is not the best. I know. I'm not stupid. But it's my favorite. I love this franchise to death. I mean, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the worst, though. And if you truly love video games that have gut-punching story and characters that you can fall in love with, this is your franchise. Kingdom Hearts is absolutely the game for you. Okay, hold on. Let me show the best. Damn, this is the best one. Kingdom Hearts is your game. I truly do believe that this game was made for you. If you love gun-punching stories and characters you can fall in love with. Definitely, this franchise was for me. And eventually, it gave a new love for RPGs. I grew to love RPGs. That's why I was able to eventually love Persona 5. That's my second favorite franchise now, Persona 5. And it was all thanks to this game right here. This game gave my love for RPGs more narrative. That's why I was finally able to give it Final Fantasy VII a chance and give it a try and see how it is. So, Kingdom Hearts was really the birth of my love for video games. It really was. I was eventually able to find love in all sorts of other franchises like Sonic, Mario, Smash Brothers, Pokemon, like even fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like, Kingdom Hearts really was the beginning of it all. It was the beginning of the end. That's why I won't really be leaving the series anytime soon. I really won't. This franchise has always been there with me for my entire life, and I'm gonna stick with it as well. I know it sounds kind of cheesy. I know it's kind of stupid. Like, oh wow, you're really talking about video games like it's real life. Like, shut up. I'd rather talk about something that is my passion and love than something I dislike, hate, and don't otherwise care about. This game really defined who I am. This game really gave my love for video games. Like, it gave my love for video games meaning. And when I saw other YouTubers play this game for a living and make money out of it, I'm like, I love this game. I love the entire franchise. Why can't I do this? And had I not played the game, I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube as I am right now. I mean, yeah, I know I don't have a lot of subscribers. I have like 33, which honestly is more than enough. I mean, yeah, I want to grow more and get more subscribers. Don't get me wrong, but this game really created my life for me. It formed me into the person I am now. I know, again, it's really cheesy and stupid, but that's just how it is. And the reason why some of you might be thinking is, why did you make a stream about this? Like, we didn't need to know of your entire life with Kingdom Hearts or whatever. It's because the reason why I'm making this now is because I've heard people bash the series for no reason. Like, okay, I understand the plot is messy and some of the narrative choices can be a little, it's not good, but come on, man. Why you gotta hate the franchise? If you've played the games from start to finish, every single game, then yes, you have a right to complain and say all the bad stuff. But if you've never touched the games once, you really have no right to judge a video game and punch it to the ground and stab it to death. Like, you really have no right to do that. That's why I don't judge a video game by its cover. Like, if I literally look at Kingdom Hearts as a new face, I've never seen it before, yes, I would say this is weird. Why is Donald and Goofy interacting with Cloud from Final Fantasy VII? Or even Hades from Hercules? Like, why are Donald and Goofy in the underworld? It's so weird. But it'd be so intriguing and curious and mysterious. Like, why are all these different Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters here together? And I would play it to find out why. So when I hear people that have never touched the games in their life say the Kingdom Hearts series is stupid and it's so ridiculous and it doesn't deserve to be represented as and popular as it is, I tell them straight up, shut up. If you've never played the games, you have no right to judge this series. And if you have played the series, then good. You can judge the series as much as you like. You can hate on it, you can punch it to the ground, stab it to death, whatever you want. Because you have that right. But if you've never touched the series, you really don't have a right to do that, in my opinion. In my opinion, you really shouldn't be hating on a series. That's what I think about most video games. If you really have never played a video game before, and you see other people hate it, it's probably because they have already played it and have a right to hate it. But just because you want to be on the popular side and want to join them, say, oh yeah, this game's stupid, and you've never played it, then you are ignorant, and you should absolutely give the game a chance. And if you don't like it, then yeah, hate it, destroy it, whatever you want. But who knows? You might even like it. That's how I was able to love other games like Sonic the Hedgehog. I heard so many people bash the games because the story was bad, but I jumped into the Sonic train wagon, and I eventually grew to love Sonic. Not as much as Kingdom Hearts, obviously, but I did grow to like Sonic the Hedgehog, the games anyways. When it comes to gameplay, I grew to love them. Yeah, the story-wise is not good, but I grew to love them based on the gameplay. That's why whenever I get to see a new Sonic game, I test it out and see how it is. That's why now I love playing Sonic Generations or Sonic Mania, because they're one of the most fun Sonic games I've ever played in my life. Hell, even Jak and Daxter, I eventually grew to love them more and more, even Sly Cooper. because I didn't judge them for what they were. If we were all judging the video games, then no one would be playing anything because, this kid has a gigantic toothbrush being helped by Goofy and Donald Duck. Like, what is this? No, it's garbage. Go away. Like, that's stupid. You shouldn't hate a video game just because someone else hates it. You have a right to play a game that you want to play. And you have a right to love a video game that you love. And if people hate on you for it, then so be it. You love that game. You love something. And you should be entitled to love that. That's how it is for me. So when I hear people bashing on the series, all I can do is just look at them and say, not even say anything. I just think to myself, if they've never played the games, then I feel bad for them because they're just bashing the series because everyone else is. So my final verdict is, should you play these games? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. You should play these games if you're a daring person. If you think you will like these games, you probably will. But be warned. The stories get more and more... Like, there's a lot to remember, guys. It's not confusing. It's not incredibly annoying or anything. It's just a lot to remember. So, if you're into games that love throwing important story, incredible story, and character development, Kingdom Hearts is the story for you. Is the game for you. And if you're not sure if you really like the series or not, look up a playthrough, a walkthrough, or even the movie, the movie video games where they just show the cutscenes, and you can see what Kingdom Hearts is like. And then you can decide for yourself if you like the game or not. I grew to love these games. I love them with a passion. I literally have right next to me, I know I probably won't be able to show you guys. Hold on. I have a Kingdom Hearts poster right here. I love these series to death. I even have... I won't be able to show you guys this, but I have a Kingdom Hearts orchestra poster over here because I went to that orchestra concert. It was all the way in Texas. Las Vegas. Las Vegas. No, it was in Nevada. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I know it was somewhere in Texas. And it was a 10-hour drive. I went with my closest group of friends, and we went to the concert, and I got to see people who love the franchise as much as I do. And it honestly filled me with so much joy, you have no possible idea how it felt. And obviously I didn't come empty-handed. I got the poster, it's right over there. I know it's kind of difficult to see. Hold on. Right there. Right there, that's the poster. And I got the soundtrack for the orchestra. I even have it on my phone too, because that's how much the... Hold on. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Here it is. The Kingdom Hearts World Tress Orchestra album. I have the... Why is my light kind of down? Why is my light all down? Hold on, guys. Something happened. For some reason my light went down. Okay, hold on. Let me fix this real quick. I have to fix this again. Okay. There we go. I got to fix it. But yeah, I have like a bunch of Kingdom Hearts stuff in my room. That's how much I love the series. But yeah, my verdict is, if you want to give Kingdom Hearts a chance, look up the movies or look up the games for you to see. Don't buy anything before you watch it for yourself and truly be dedicated to play it, because you will not like it. Unless you just take my word for granted and take my word for it and play the games and love it. But honestly, just look up the games, look how they are, and if you like them or not, then you have your decision for that. But don't really bash the series if you really don't know it personally. Guys, like, please. It kind of bugs me that people still do that to this day. So, I'm not gonna keep going. This was just a small stream dedicated to saying why I love and hate this franchise. I didn't touch upon why I hate the franchise, so let me touch upon that and then I'll end the stream. The reason why I kind of stood away from the franchise for a while is because the story, it was really confusing. It wasn't confusing, it was a lot to remember. And at the time, I had not played all the games, so I was all confused. Like, why? What happened? Like, where's this part of the story? Where are they? Where are these characters I'm supposed to find? When I eventually played the games, now my mind was all like, okay, so this happened here. Like, I was figuring out every piece of the puzzle, and I knew what happened. So I really wasn't all that mad anymore, but the story was just a jumbled mess at that point that I was kind of angry at the series for no reason and just stood away from it, which I shouldn't have done, but now I've really grown with the series, and now I'm still growing with the series. Now I finally got into one of the other brand new Kingdom Hearts games. Well, it's not brand new, it's a couple years old, but I finally decided to play this game more. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. It's on a mobile phone, another device. But I finally decided to start playing this because its story is so different and unique that I knew I had to play this. Kingdom Hearts Union, and eventually I will get into Dark Road, or Black Road, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Dark Road. I will get into this, but first I need to finish Union Cross. But this game is honestly one of my favorites now, because I started playing it more. And it has... the story is pretty solid. It's not the best, but it's explaining everything from the dawn to time. So that's another can of worms. But I finally decided to get back into the series, and my love for the series has grown more and more. This series is now just a part of my life, and I don't think I'll be leaving it anytime soon. But yeah, that was my take on my love-hate relationship with Kingdom Hearts. I know it probably wasn't what you guys wanted as a stream, but I wanted to talk about this series and get my opinions out there. I cannot wait for angry people who dislike the series to come after me and say Kingdom Hearts is the worst series I've ever played or seen or heard about, whatever. I know it's gonna happen. Everything Kingdom Hearts is either love or hate. There's no in between. There really isn't. So I'm just waiting for the mob of hateful people coming after me. But yeah, this is my take on Kingdom Hearts. I hope at least this stream changed your mind and is gonna give you a chance to play these games, or even look up the games and the movies and stuff. I hope I was able to give you that experience. I didn't spoil the games at all, by the way. I made sure not to say anything spoiler heavy at all, so you guys could go play it for yourselves and enjoy the story. So again, I know this is the stream you guys wanted to see. Tomorrow, I believe Pokemon the DLC Crown Tundra should be coming out, so I will be covering that, and I will be coming after it, and you guys will get to see it tomorrow and see my live reactions to the DLC. If you've not seen my first, okay, well, you won't really see it because at the time I didn't have a webcam, so you won't really see my reactions. But if you want to see the first part of the DLC, the Isle of Armor, you can look it up on YouTube. You can find better reactions than mine. But if you want to see the Crown Tundra DLC, DLC, my first reactions to it. I believe it should be tomorrow. Or absolutely the day after. But I believe it's come tomorrow. Like late tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know what's gonna happen. Whether or not I make a stream. But until then, this is my take on Kingdom Hearts. Thank you all for tuning in and coming by. I know it wasn't the best stream ever. And I hope that I somehow managed to portray my love for the series. But yeah, this is my take on it. Let me know how you guys feel about the series before I close it off. I would love to know you guys' opinions on it now, or if your opinion hasn't changed, or if you hate it now, or love it. I want to hear yours before I stop my stream. Hold on, let me get some water real quick, and then I'll be back. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the series now. Oh, whoops. Yoink. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Well, I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, like I said, tomorrow will be Pokemon, or the day after will be Pokemon. So, stay tuned for that if you guys love Pokemon, or don't, or just want to watch my streams. In that case, be sure to ultra smash and crush the like button and subscribe. Also, be sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live, or if I ever decide to make YouTube videos again. Get notified when I upload stuff, or when I go live. So yeah, be sure to do those three things, and then stay tuned for Pokemon the Crown Tundra DLC. And I also plan to do more Persona streams. Maybe I'll go into detail what my personal opinions on Persona 5 and why I like it as much as I do now, because it's fairly recent, but I won't get into it now. But I'm gonna close off the stream now. Stay tuned for Pokemon, and if you guys want to see more other stuff, more video game content, or you want me to talk about other things, let me know in the comments below. And like I said before, be sure to ultra smash and crush the like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to batter up, get a bat, and swing at the notification bell to get notified when I upload and get live. So be sure to do all those things, and then you're set. Because guys, we're 30 series subscribers. We can get higher than that. I know we can. We personally can. But I can't do it without you. So please be sure to smash the subscribe button. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all hopefully